Okay, so I've got something very exciting to show you guys. That's right, this is definitely the smallest golf simulator we've ever reviewed here on the channel. So let's go surprise Mike with it. Hey Mike, I got something for you to take a look at. This is a golf simulator.
Is that? There's a whole sim in this box.
Yes, you wanna open it up?
Yeah, I gotta see.
Let's go open it up. All right, that is right. We've got the TruGolf Home Swing Studio. And Mike, think about it like this. Every golfer wants a simulator in their house.
Of course.
Right? Or their office or whatever. There's usually two things that hold us back. First one, they're usually expensive. The second thing is that you don't have enough space.
Right.
Right? So yeah, I know I've seen some incredible things people have done with garages, stuff like that, but you gotta have high ceilings, you gotta have that. What TruGolf is trying to do with this particular unit is solve both of those problems by coming up with something that's super compact. Now, they do make some very lofty kind of claims here. Right on the box it says, the TruGolf Mini Sim is a professional grade golf tool that includes many of the features of simulators costing $50,000 or more.
That's a big claim.
Right. So does it really compete with a $50,000 simulator, or is it more of a toy gimmick type of thing?
It looks more initially like a game. Like we're talking Wii Golf on steroids. That's what it looks like.
Wii Golf on steroids.
But the graphics look cool. This thing does looks like a legitimate sim.
That's one huge, I think it goes both in the plus column and the cons column, and I'll tell you why more in a minute, but it runs on the E6 platform. So effectively what this does is it connects you to E6, and E6 is something that if you've been researching simulators, you've probably seen it before because a lot of other simulators are on that E6 platform.
Right.
They've got a number of courses, they've got things like that. So like let's say you had like a Mevo Plus, you could connect that to E6. So you're connecting to the same software, it's just what is your input source. In this case, it's kind of a unique import source. So let's get it unboxed and I'll show you what I mean.
Let's do it.
All right, because I've been toying around with this thing a little bit at home and I have been having fun with it. However, it's got some limitations that I think concern me of whether or not you're gonna drop 300 bucks on it.
I've got some questions myself and I'm sure it's the same.
So let's open it up, all right? So in the box, actually there's not a whole lot here, which you'll see in a second. You've got some instructions, and one of these things, which is what you're gonna wanna hang on to, is your subscription to E6. It does come with a subscription, it's a base subscription.
Okay.
It's something like 5 golf courses and a couple of games. You can unlock a lot more. E6 is a big platform, but you're gonna lay out some money for it.
I love it. And so we're gonna take this out onto the virtual course today.
Yes.
We can?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Well, that's one of the benefits of this. The
Cool.
setup is very fast.
Okay.
And all you need is some sort of iOS or Android device. So you can connect this with your iPad, which I'm gonna show you.
It's easy enough.
Or your iPhone.
TV.
So that's another thing, right.
Okay.
Scalability, I put that in the big plus column.
Okay.
Because you can either have it super small, just on your iPad or your phone, or if you're looking for that more immersive experience, with something as simple as a little adapter, depending on your device, you can then put this to a projector. Now you feel a little bit more like you're in a sim, right?
Oh, I got it, yeah.
So we'll hook this up to our projector in a second, but let's see what we got here. It's really not much. Like I said, you've got your subscription.
This must be the old
You've
club,
got this thing, which, I don't know, it
What?
looks a little bit like a medieval weapon.
It does.
You gotta be a little careful where you swing this thing.
It's got the feel of a grip.
That's what I like though. It's weighted like a golf club. So although it's much shorter, and this is what's gonna really help when you have to worry about if you've got low ceilings and things like that, this is what's gonna help because you're not having to swing a full-size golf club. But because it's weighted like a club, your swing speeds are similar.
Got it, yeah.
You ever try to like just swing like a Wii controller and it feels weird because it's so fat? You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's got that, and you hear the
I
clicking?
hear the clicking. So what does that happen at impact?
So it actually gives a little bit of an audible simulated impact sound with certain ones. You'll see that when we swing it over there in the sim in a second.
All right, so far so good.
But let's take a look at this. This is the most important thing in the box.
That's the brains?
This is the brains, okay? So basically what this is it's got an accelerometer in it, some high-tech stuff that basically is what's gonna do is gonna track that club as it moves through your swing, right? So you're gonna use this, it's gonna pick up things like tempo, which is one thing I like about this. As far as a tempo trainer, a rhythm trainer, it's really cool. And one thing I'll show you when we hop into the sim is it does a really good job of visualizing graphically your swing. So if you're looking at like, are you on plane, are you not on plane? It's picking all of that up. All right, so you're able to do that. And the other thing it picks up is rotation. So
Gotcha.
think about, swing as as your club is moving through the swing, the path it takes, and then think rotation would be club face, right? So it's going to take those two things, 3 things really, and it uses that to get an idea of how the ball would fly from that. But the one big limitation here is that there's no actual ball striking.
See, that's what's throwing me right now.
Right.
You know?
So you're kind of relying on where most simulators will track either the ball or the club face, right? So you're thinking about like either optically or with radar. They're tracking that and then they're extrapolating that out and showing it visually on the screen. It's a little bit more of a direct relation to what the ball actually does. This is doing some guesswork. But again, think about the space it's in. It's meant to be something that's in a small space.
Exactly.
And it's supposed to be a price point.
And that's what I'm thinking. What we got, $300 or something like this?
It's right about $300 for this plus that license that it comes with. So that's where this is going to, like I said, it's going to be some cool parts, but some limitations. And again, we'll dive into that. The other thing that I say I put in, like I said, the pros and the cons column is the E6 itself. So one thing that I'll say is that once you're in it, it's great. The graphics are great. It looks good. It performs well. It's that simulator experience you want. However, I did go through the setup at home, and I will say that there were times it got frustrating.
Yeah, I bet.
You had to log in a few times, and I saw somebody actually on the App Store said it perfectly. They called it E6 disconnect. So if you're willing to put up with a little bit of frustration, your first registration, fine. I mean, just know that it's not a perfect system in that way.
If I'm stuck in a studio apartment and the budget is a concern, I'm kind of foregoing a lot of that. If I just want to get some swings in the winter, this might be it.
That's right.
I'm not sold yet.
Well, let's see what it feels like. So we're going to hop over there. One other thing I'll mention that does come in the box is this little USB charger. So basically you just charge this device. And so far it's had great battery life in the little bit that I've been using it at home. Haven't had anything to worry about. But let's get over there because I also want to show you there's different modes.
Okay.
For this. So let's go try it out. All right, so a couple things. We've got this little nub installed in the grip, just screws right in the end. Got the iPad set up with E6 downloaded. And like I said, we're using this little connector to HDMI so that we can project it up there. So all you're gonna do is you just turn this on. It's just Bluetooth pairing. So it's fairly simple, fairly straightforward. I won't get too deep into it here, but the first time you do it in E6, like I said, if you're willing to deal with a little bit of frustration, you can get through and you can install that license and you can get this thing connected. So as part of that, you're gonna go into your settings and under simulator, you're gonna tell it you're using the TruGolf Mini. So like I said, with E6, you can use it for other types of things. We use it often with like a Mevo Plus, stuff like that. But we're gonna use it with the TruGolf Mini here, so I'm gonna accept that. And let's start, Mike. You wanna start in the range?
Yeah, man.
Let's just hit a couple on the range. All right, so first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna step up to it, holding the club like kind of upright like this. So that's what it knows you're preparing to swing. And then when you're ready, you address what would be the ball. And if you stay still for a second, you get that green light saying it's ready to go. When you get here, Mike, don't move because it's very sensitive. So I find if you waggle, it can throw you off. But we got here, it's got me set on a driver. We'll start with driver. And then after that, I just take your normal swing. You ready? Oh, hit it way left. We'll see how accurate it is. It's tough to tell with no ball flight.
Does it feel like you're hitting the ball at that impact?
A little bit. So did you hear that that snap?
Right.
That gives you a little bit of that feedback. But let me put it on first cut with the driver is a little bit of a mistake. Let's put it on something more reasonable.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Let's select the 7-iron here, okay? Now, and also for accuracy, one thing you can kind of aim wherever you want to aim here. And because there's no ball contact, you can't play different shots with spin and hit on different parts of the ball. You actually have to select that here, which like I said, it's one of those limiting parts of this system. But again, for full swing, let's see how accurate it is. 7-iron for me, it's usually about a 160, 165 club. So we'll take a full swing 7-iron here and see how close we come to that number, all right?
Let's do it.
So same type of thing. It's kind of weird. One thing I would have done differently if I were them, I would have put like a simulated face on here. Because sometimes I find it's like, I'm not sure if I've got the club face square because it's round.
I see, right.
I'm just gonna, wherever I address, I'm gonna say that that's what I think is square. Okay. So let's try that here.
Nice shot.
All right, that was much better contact. Wow. Let's see what type of distance it gives me out of that. Like I said, I'm looking for like 160, 165. 165 carry, 165.1.
All right, so that's pretty accurate.
Pretty accurate, but you see what I'm saying, how that can be a lot of fun. Like now I'm taking swings into a simulator. We'll play golf with it in a minute, but do you see how like, even though
I mean, I got to take a shot.
It's not perfectly accurate because you're not hitting a golf ball. It's still, you're swinging. And there's one thing I want to show you here.
Okay.
What I really like is this swing analyzer. So if we take a look at that, one thing that's really cool is we can kind of scrub through here and we can look at our swing on the way back and on the way down in a 360 kind of 3D environment. So I can spin this around and I can look at it from all the different angles. So if you are working on like club path, more of like an in to out path or more of a straight path, you can get a good visual on this from the front, from the side, from the back. And there I feel like you are getting some really good information. It does feel fairly accurate.
And the graphics look pretty cool.
The graphics are cool, and you can see that. You see how you can go like from the side view, face on, and you can look at your swing as it goes through, where your transition is. Right, or you can go to the back of the swing here, and you can see, are you shallowing the club? If that's something you're working on, shallowing the club out. There's a lot of stuff that I like with that. And it's fairly accurate. That's usually what my swing is, you know, a little bit inside out. But I want you to give it a try here, Mike.
Yeah, okay.
So here, switch with me. Here you go, take that. That's it, just step up to the ball, hold it upright. Once it's yellow, you can address the ball. Hold there for a second, it's gonna go green, and then you're ready just to take your normal swing. You feel and hear it kind of click at impact, right? So some people will even use this almost like as an impact trainer. So there's a lot that it is doing. There's no doubt. You want to swing it in the bathroom, don't you?
I do want to try it.
You want to go try it and swing it in the bathroom? Just see how small a space you... I mean, we're in a big open space.
I want to see if you live in those real small studio apartments, if you can get it done.
Let's go. Let's go. All right, so we're going to show the real portability. So all I did is I unplugged it here from the projector. So I still have this in hand. We're going to literally go in the men's room here. This is the smallest room in the area. Okay. I'm going to stand in a way that Mike can't hit me in the face. But we're in, what do you say this is?
Isn't this the size of most New York City apartments?
Yeah.
Right?
You pay about $2,000 a month in rent for this in New York City. All right.
So am I ready to swing?
Oh, she's green. We got green. So here we go. Here's Mike's swing in a bathroom. And there he is. He's playing golf in the bathroom.
Yes, it worked.
So if you've got a small apartment, that's just proven. Let's see how you hit it too. Hold on. We're going to see how he hits this 7-iron in a bathroom. A 187 7-iron in a bathroom? Put this guy on tour.
That's good.
This guy just hit a 187 in a bathroom. All right, let's go back to the sim and show you a few more things. All right, so now the real question is, you want a simulator in your house, you want to play on the course. One thing I said earlier, there are 3 settings for this. So this is where, if you're using it a little bit more casually, you can set this thing to its lowest mode is party mode, right? So that's going to be your most forgiving mode. Then as you go up, you go through training is the next mode, and I've been using on the top mode, which is tournament. And basically what that does is that just unlocks all of the sensitivity of this device. So I like it in its most sensitive setting because I'm trying to simulate more of a real golf experience. But like I said, if you wanted to be able to play with your kids or beginner golfer and you don't want that frustration, you can set this thing to party. But let's go in here. We're gonna go to play golf, stroke play. And like I said, it comes with 5 courses. We're just gonna play the first one and we're gonna tee off. There's 2 things that I'm gonna say that are dicey, putting and chipping. It's a little bit harder with those less than full swing feel shots. But let's see what we've got here. We got a 339-yard par 4. It's telling me I have a driver in hand. Same thing, we're just gonna kind of step up to the ball, set up with driver here. When I get that green light, we're gonna go.
There he goes.
Oh, and I'm always pushing driver left with this thing for some reason.
The driver out yet?
Left with the driver. But okay, close. I mean, 227. Usually I do hit driver further than that, but it's something that just takes some time to tweak. It's telling me that the path is way inside out. Let's hit one more. We've got the sand wedge in our hands for a 50-yard shot.
Get it up on the green.
Yep.
Nice shot, Frank. Nice shot. Get up there. Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Now
so we're dancing. We're dancing. Moment of truth here. So we're going to putt. So now I've got a 44-foot putt.
Okay.
And it shows me the break. So again, this is what I like about the E6. The graphics are great. It's got all of what you would feel in like a really great simulator. It's just you're kind of limited by the only feedback the sim is getting is from this little thing. But again, we're working in a confined space here. So let's see.
Here comes the putt.
Now here, you're not going to hear that snap because it doesn't load and unload. So you just kind of have to feel what a 44-foot putt feels like, okay?
Good luck.
Here we go.
Oh, did he crush
They pulled the pin. Oh, missed it by 5 feet. Not too bad.
That felt like a long putt?
It did.
Okay.
So you see what I'm saying? Like, you're playing golf.
Yeah, you're playing golf.
You're not hitting a golf ball. That's the limitation. And the concern that I have with a system like this, gave me the gimme, so there's our bogey.
There you go.
Right? But the concern that I have with a system like this is that this can be fun for a bit. I think the swing analyzer is cool. I would just worry that there's going to come a point where it's a little limiting and you're going to want more. You may want to actually be hitting a golf ball. But if you are super confined on space, on budget, this is a way that something relatively inexpensively, and you could pick up a cheap projector, project it on a wall. Remember, you're not hitting golf balls.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about the expense of a net, a mat, a projection screen.
That's it.
You could get a projector on Amazon for $200 and project it on the wall in your bedroom, and you've got a simulator. All right, so let's come back over here and just to give some final thoughts. Okay, so again, is it the all-in-one complete solution for a simulator if you want to only spend $300, not set up a net? It's tough to say. I mean, I think that this is one of those great indications that I think as tech evolves, golf at home is going to become more and more and more accessible.
Right.
I mean, you swung this thing in a bathroom.
I know.
Right? And we use the iPad, but you don't even have to have an iPad. You can do this on your phone. You don't have to project it. There's a lot of ways that you can kind of make this your own. So I think it's great if you're somebody who maybe you're working on your tempo or your swing path, because those are things that feel like are fairly accurate out of here.
No, definitely.
If you're working on your ball striking, I don't know if it's going to give you the type of information you want.
But like I keep coming back to like it is what it is for what it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that, I love the fact that on the requirements, it's like all you need is the app, an iPad or a device, and then an internet connection.
Right.
Like now they're simplifying it down to just getting golf up and running so quick.
But I think it's going to leave you in a way wanting more because there's no ball there. You could put a good swing on it, but if you're struggling with your ball striking and you're thinning it or fatting it, this might give you inaccurate feedback.
Right.
You may look like you flushed it, but in real life you didn't. So that's where, in a way, I think it's limiting. I think it's going to leave some of your better golfers wanting more. But again, if you're just looking for something to keep the body moving, have a little bit of fun, be like you're on the range, something that keeps you swinging through the winter, I think it's something you got to give a look to. But again, my initial thoughts are, I'm impressed with the amount of technology for a couple $100 and the fact that people who had no option before to have a simulator at home can have something here. It might bring more families together playing the game, bring kids into the game. Those are the pluses. The minuses are, like I said, I think if some of our better golfers are going to kind of get tired of it pretty quickly with not hitting actual golf balls.
Yeah, I agree.
But if you have no option to hit actual golf balls, maybe this is your option.
Could be. I mean, it was fun.
It is fun.
It is fun.
Right, and
I'm
I
not
can
gonna
see something
discount
like
that.
this.
It's fun.
You pull this out at a party.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, that's where you can
You're
have a
the
little bit
hero.
of
You
fun.
show up with the
Exactly.
iPad and this. Let's go.
You are the party hero. So that's our first thoughts, initial thoughts on this. Remember, this is the TruGolf Mini Sim. We'll post links below where you can find out more information on it. But like I said, this is something that is really interesting. Hope you guys enjoyed this first look type of a review. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you in the next video.